Okay.
Hello, everybody. First and foremost, I just want to congratulate you for showing up tonight. This means you care about your health. You've shown up because you heard you're going to hear about food and how important it is and how to do a few tips and tricks to tweak what you're doing to get better results with health. We're talking life wellness here. So I am KJ. If you don't know me yet, I am a master level fitness trainer, a fitness nutrition specialist. I'm a certified health coach. And most important to me, I'm a happy mom. I love nutrition, not only for what it does to my body and how I can help clients, I love it for my family. I love that I'm able to show up every day as the best mom I can be, the best wife I can be. So I'm glad you're here. And I hope the information I'm able to provide tonight is going to help you become a better you. And these tips and tricks have been tried and true. I use them with clients, and they're not so hard to implement. It's a matter of mindset shift. And so I'm going to share my screen. I like visuals. I think a lot of people are visual learners. Let me get started over here. Oh, and I'm going to have to share screen ability real quick because, hey, we like to give permission before all else. And do I have your permission tonight to challenge you? Because that's what's going to happen. There's a little tough love going to be happening tonight. And I am able to share my screen. So first and foremost, here is the lovely picture of myself when I'm not just momming in my sweats, but I'm so glad we do have the ability to be together in wherever we are. Hopefully you're in your sweats too, because it's nice in the evening. I'm going to, if you can see my slides here, thumbs up. Now, I already introduced myself. What I want to do is give you a very short disclaimer because you're smart. That's why you showed up tonight, right? Tonight's about knowledge and motivation, and that's really what it's for. Anything that is discussed here is not about claims. We're simply talking real and talking real food. And we're helping with suggestions, motivation, and inspiration for life wellness. So I just have to put that disclaimer there so no one gets wonky. And you heard the old adage, you are what you eat. So let that sink in real quick. What did you eat today? What did you drink today? Every single thing that goes into our body will either help us progress or will take a step backwards in where we are for our health. Okay. I like to talk about health to people. Yes, you might have shown up because you're interested in fat loss. You might have shown up because you're interested in just toning up and wanting to hear from a trainer. You might be interested in, breaking some bad habits with your food choices, but let's really hone in on health. The first 4 letters of health is heal, H-E-A-L. You cannot have health without healing. So everything that goes into our bodies creates our cellular health. So I ask you, what are you fueling your cellular health with? You're either living on fumes or you're living on fuel. It really depends on your choices. And now, believe me, I am a busy mom. I'm a homeschool mom, a busy mom of 2. I run 2 businesses, and I get it. Convenience sometimes supersedes wise choices. Am I correct? I would love to hear from you in the chat or in the comments. So if you're agreeing with anything I'm saying, yes, I do reach for things for convenience. Yes, this is part of my life. I know it's not good for me. I need it. I need it. My brain tells me I need it. Well, this is what we're going to try to break, is this vicious cycle of knowing better, but not having enough ammo in your tool belt. So why would you listen to me? Well, I've been around the block. I started my career in New York City. I have been featured in Shape Magazine, Time Out New York. I've had multiple appearances on WB11 in New York. Rachel Ray had a 4-part series on me in her blog. And I'm a mom who really priority is my family and the longevity of my life. And I'm here to share with you how you can count on longevity in your life. How can we talk about life wellness if we're too busy talking about diets? Okay. As a trainer, I'm going to tell you, throw diets out the window. The first 3 letters of diet is die. Okay. So we're not talking about skimping on your calories tonight. We're not talking about, what should I and shouldn't I eat based on the newest fad. Okay. We're talking about nourishment, and we're talking about health. And importantly to me, we're talking about cellular health. So these tips, tricks, and tools from the trainer are my gift to you. I have a huge mission in my life to help as many people as I possibly can. And I'm glad you're here with me. So my request is that you turn off your phone, take out a little notebook even. If you see something here that really triggers something and you can benefit from, either quickly screenshot it or write it down. And don't be distracted. If you're with your kids right now and there's a lot of chaos, the TV's on, just step away, because I promise you, you're worth it. Okay. And I'm going to give you a few of my tricks. If you want more of them, I'm going to invite you to our community where you can learn a lot more tools, tricks, and tips later. But for now, I'm going to give you a little bit. I do respect your time and I don't want to take too much of it this evening. These are some of my catchphrases and things that hopefully can stick. This is number 1. Green is lean. It's just that easy, right? I think a lot of us have really caught wind of the plant-based diet, or I like to just encourage people, if you're going to eat all things, that's fine. We were made to enjoy our food, and food was created for us. So green is lean is not telling you to go vegan, and it's not telling you to live a vegetarian life. Green is lean is offering you a mentality that you're looking for the most nutrient dense foods available. And when I say nutrient dense, that means it packs in a lot of nutrition in a little bit of calories. Okay, because you can eat 1,000 calories and have zero nourishment. That might be what it looks like going through the drive-through at McDonald's or your favorite fast food restaurant. Or you can get so many nutrients in a 400 or 600 calorie meal. Now, green is lean is encouraging you to bring in more vegetables. When you can bring in more vegetables and you fill your stomach, it's a muscle, guys. It's a little sack, and you fill it up like any little sack in life, right? When you fill it with more veggies, there's a few things that can happen. You don't have to count calories anymore. And that's really exciting. Now, first and foremost, we lived in such a fast-paced world. I don't think we have time for counting calories. There are awesome apps out there. I even have one of them myself. I own one. Do you have time to count your macros and your calories every day? Or are you just too busy? If you're finding that the speed of life is making you grab and go too often, I promise you, you're not sitting here calculating your calories, even if you think you are for 2 days, but you fall off and it's not sustainable. So if you can focus on veggies, being veggie focused, and build your plate in a perfectly half-plated vegetable source, you're going to fill up your stomach. You're not going to overeat on the things that are malnutrient, things that don't offer us the nutrients, the heavy load of fats or carbs that might be what's tripping you up. So this plate here, what I love about this is we're not talking caloric value. We're talking hands. So this is my trick I like to teach people. And I like to call it a rate your plate. And if you are a go-getter and you like to get a perfect 10 out of 10, I'm going to teach you that right now. So let's start with the green is lean, the vegetables. You'll see that on the upper right corner of your screen. You see 2 fists of vegetables, or depending on how big your plate is, half your plate is vegetables. That's 5 points, guys. 5 points is easy to score 50% if you have half the plate as vegetables, two fists, two handfuls, fists, whatever, this would fit into this. So you can do two fists worth or two cupped handfuls, rounded handfuls, whatever you want to do. And then let's move into the bottom tier of this plate, your complex carbs. Now, when I say complex carbs, people get confused. They're like, I thought carbs were bad. Well, let me bust your bubble. Carbs are necessary. Okay. So carbohydrates that are complex are not a fast sugar spike. They're not a trans fat. They're not coming with refined sugars, and they're not highly processed. So you're going to look for things like loose grains. I prefer to suggest people staying as gluten-free as possible. That does not mean it's a strict way of life. It's just more gentle on your gut health. The more gluten you consume, the sooner you'll meet somebody named IBS. You ever heard of that? Irritable bowel syndrome, irritable bowel syndrome, right? So the more you can limit your gluten, the better and further away you'll stay from Mr. IBS. All right, so that's just my little side note, not really part of this, but that complex carb I find to be very important is 2 points. So if you have 5 points of vegetables, 2 points for your carb, taking up a quarter of your plate. The other portion of your plate is a smart protein. That protein can come, whether it be plant-based or animal-based. Try to think of clean. All of our food clean. What does it mean? It means if it's a chicken, it's free roaming. If it's a cow, it's grass-fed. If it's wild game, I promise you it's living on the land, it's clean. And less processed things. I highly suggest if you are vegan or a vegetarian, if you've been consuming tofu, it's time to break away. Break up with tofu. If you need a smart meat alternative and you are going for a soy base, knowing it's very high in protein, my biggest suggestion would be to go for tempeh. It is also soy, but it's fermented. Fermented soy is the only way that soy actually has health benefits. Non-fermented soy can actually bloat you, cause a lot of hormone disruption, and it's not helping you get anywhere with your health. It's not helping you heal in any way. So that 2 points for protein. We're up to 5 points for half the plate veggies, 2 for carbs, 2 for protein. What is that? 9 points. What are we missing? Upper left corner. Some size healthy fat. That can come in so many varieties. And I promise you, if you're going to roast any of these foods, you might already have that covered. Or it can come in something like walnuts, avocado, coconut oil, olive oil. This is a little tip I offer everybody. Don't cook with olive oil. Use it in its raw form. At high heats, it can become toxic. So a lot of people don't know better. They just think, yay, it's good for me. And if you hit that with too high of a heat, it's no longer good for you. So olive oil is good when you're drizzling it on salad, or if it's a slow and a low roast, that's fine too. But this could create a 10 out of 10 when you rate your plate. I love to ask people, did you rate your plate today? And let's see, because when you look at your plate and you count it up and you're like, yeah, I got a 6. I want to ask you, well, why not a 10? These are the tools. And next, I'm going for tricks to not only trick you, maybe your kids too. Not everyone wants to eat a huge salad every day, and get off the brain that you have to eat like a rabbit in order to include vegetables in your life. So I suggest things like sneaking it into your smoothies, even, pureeing up spinach with your scrambled eggs. I tell you, green eggs are fun for everybody, and spinach is almost tasteless. If you're adding it to something sweet, it might pull the sweet factor down. But if you're adding it to something savory, just add a little bit more salt and you'll never know it's there. So you can start eating green eggs. You can start blending in your 2 cups of spinach into your morning protein shake or smoothie and get a couple servings of vegetables down first thing. Then there's less guesswork later. There's less chopping and prepping later. I love to suggest that. And that's not just spinach. You can throw in a lot of things that are sneaky. I love to suggest cauliflower as another amazing superfood that you can sneak into a shake, sneak into pancakes, oatmeal. You can sneak that in anywhere, either riced cauliflower or pureed. you'd never know it's there. Cauliflower is kind of tasteless. It really takes a lot to boost that flavor, right? And I want to remind you that veggies are perfect. They're perfect the way they are. You don't have to guess about veggies. Is it a vegetable? Yay, eat it any way you like it. It's not about rabbit food and raw salad all day. If you love it steamed, have it steamed. If you want a little sprinkle of Parmesan, go for it. I like to say limit the cheese, because too much cheese, too much of a good thing can always be too much anyway. Roasted, baked, fermented. Don't forget about fermented veggies or raw. Now, when I mention fermented, I just love to encourage that for the sake of gut health, right? So allowing a little bit of fermented food on your plate, that could come in a pickle with cucumber. You can pickle green beans, beets, you can pickle okra. I mean, I think you can pickle any vegetable you want. So if you like tangy, zesty things, I highly suggest learn a little bit about pickling. Usually you're not cooking it at all. You're just pouring it in and hot sealing it, and you've got yourself an awesome fermented food that lasts a long time in the fridge. So that's a good way of preserving food. I would like to ask you, comment in the comments. Do you ever buy vegetables and then you're like, yeah, I'm going to make that. Yeah, I'm going to chop it. Yeah, I'm going to use that salad. And then like a week goes by and you're like, ew, it's wilted. Ew, this is a rubbery carrot. What's going on? So comment, I'd love to hear, because I think it happens a lot. I hear it all the time. If you have fermented food or frozen vegetables, these are both great ways of making sure that they stay in your fridge and your freezer, and you're never left with soggy, molding, or a little goofy looking vegetables, wondering if they're safe for you. Okay, so that's just one little tip too. And then another way of making sure you get the veggies in, of course, adding it. Add it. If you're going to eat pizza, make sure half the plate is a salad. I promise you, you're not going to reach for the third slice of pizza. You might even fill up on the salad in one slice. So let's embrace inviting the veggies in. And one way of doing that is swapping them for starches. People have heard of zoodles. Okay. Zoodles are just, doing the little spiralizer on zucchini. You can do it with sweet potato or carrot. You can throw in cauliflower rice instead of regular rice. My tip to you be using either salt, garlic salt, a seasoning of some sort, maybe a touch of grass-fed butter to bring out the flavor, because again, cauliflower is kind of flavorless, especially when cooked. So you can sneak butternut squash in place of sweet potato. You still have to do the chopping and the roasting. Well, one's a little less starchy than the other, a little more low carb and nutrient dense than the other. So there are easy peasy swaps. If you're going to have a starch on your plate, say, could I sub that out for a root vegetable? Root vegetables are amazing substitutes. And I was going to put this out there, and I'll even put the recipe in our group, our community. I like to even swap out pasta, whether it be a penne or a gnocchi, like chunky pasta, for cut cauliflower roasted in the oven. Why do we love pasta anyway? But for the sauce and the amazingness we put into that sauce. So when you cover roasted broccoli and cauliflower with whatever pasta sauce you love, you not only are cutting down some of the carbs, getting rid of some simple carbs like that refined carb, but you're loading in the nutrients. What are you doing? You're healing more the more nutrients you invite in. That was tip 1. Tip 2, no one wants to hear this tip. I'm going to put it out there real quick. Go to bed hungry. And I'm not talking for real. I don't want you to starve yourself ever. This is the farthest thing from starving. We're going to talk about nutrient timing here. And I would like to hear in the comment fields right now, is anyone practicing currently the art? It is an art of daily intermittent fasting, or have you heard of it? Even if you're not practicing it, leave me comments and let me know, have you heard of daily intermittent fasting? And this would mean, if you're new to this, that you are consuming all of your calories for the day within a small window, 6 to 8 hours. That window of feed, I call it fast and feed window. The fasting is when you're not feeding yourself. That would be 16 to 18 hours, depending on what your feed window is. And you'll learn your feed window rather quickly once you embrace this. So even if you're not into daily intermittent fasting, which has a lot of health benefits, by the way, we'll go into it a little bit here. I might suggest making sure you're not eating late at night. So the more you eat late, the poorer your sleep quality is. So let's talk about what the benefits of actually resting the entire body in the night would do for you, because I'm so driven on true health. We're talking cellular health, remember. If you are busy digesting and you don't give your digestive process the time to rest, give your digestion a little vacation daily. Now, this would mean ending your feed window, meaning your dinner would be at 6 p.m., even if you're going to bed at 10. Those 4 hours, I promise you're going to survive. And when you rest your cells, you're talking muscles, brain cells, blood cells, you're going to get a full night's sleep and you're going to feel much fresher in the morning. And then you're going to get nutrition in the window of the day when you actually need fuel. Because I'm not sure the last time I have ran a marathon while I'm sleeping, or even went to the gym while I was sleeping. So if I'm loading up on food, which food should be fuel for your body, at 8 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m., if you're watching a movie and it's a weekend, 11 p.m., maybe snacking. If that's your fuel and all you're going to do is go to sleep, what's that for, really? It's going to arouse you in the night. You don't even know you're being aroused in the night with your digestive process. It might even come as reflux or heartburn. So if you are someone currently having any heartburn or reflux, let's try to inch the hours up from bedtime where you're actually consuming your nutrition. Because if you're just resting, you don't need it. I promise. Now, if you do have a 10K tomorrow, go ahead and fuel up a little later if you want, maybe even a little more carb heavy. That's okay. Now, we're all familiar with a food pyramid, right? I'm going to open your eyes about this go to bed hungry, even if it doesn't involve intermittent fasting, because I know it's not for everybody. I chose this food pyramid because I actually enjoyed its pictures. Some of them have the grains at that big wide bottom. And I'm like, what are we, cows? Stop feeding yourself like a cow if you don't want to look or feel like a cow. So let's move the grains up the pyramid, right? You see right now it's on third tier down, legumes, even more than grains, because that's a protein source. Grains don't have as much protein unless you're talking quinoa or a really good ancient grain. So this pyramid here, we are used to seeing the food pyramid, and I chose the one that had veggie in the foundation. But I want you right now to think of how you run your day. Do you wake up and have breakfast? Well, if you're doing daily intermittent fasting, your breakfast is probably prolonged into the morning. But what are you consuming for breakfast? In the daytime, are you getting enough food? Or do you find that while you're in the midst of the day, you hit a trigger hits and you're just ravenous by dinner? Well, I'm going to tell you that's because your day, let's look at this, AM versus PM. Your day is probably starting in a very narrow, a very small portion. And then you get a little bit for lunch because you're all in the mindset of I'm healthy. I think it's about restricting my calories, even though it's not. And so I'm going to go on this day and restrict and keep it little. And then you don't nourish yourself enough. And come evening, you're starving. Not only does that set you up for failure because you don't rationally think well when you're hangry. You might grab something that's convenient but not nourishing. It might actually be damaging to your cells. So I would like to introduce you to the KJ Diamond. Here we go. I want you, if you're going to start off the day with intermittent fasting, it's okay to just drink liquids in the morning. You can have your coffee, you're allowed. There are actually a lot of things you can consume during a fasted window. It's liquid based that won't spike blood sugar and won't stir up digestion. And we can give you those tips and tricks in our community as well. Now, if you start to eat in the morning, your belly's shrunk. It's been fasting long enough. It's not like waiting and hungry because you train the stomach muscle like you train any muscle. And if we're doing nutrient rich foods, means a lot of nutrients in a small caloric load, you can train that stomach muscle to be smaller. So as you move through the day, eat your biggest meal earlier. I'm not even talking wait till dinner. I'm talking feed and fuel your body at lunchtime, as big of a meal as you can get. And not necessarily lunchtime is going to mean noon. I have some of my clients breaking their fast at noon because they stay up till midnight and they do noon to 7 as their feeding window. And that's okay. So I'm not saying break your fast with the biggest meal ever, but let me explain to you the metabolism. It's going to slow down at 4 p.m., whether you like it or not. Yes, you can go to the gym in the evening. You might get a little pep to the metabolism, but our circadian rhythm, we naturally, as the sun goes down and the sun rises, so does our fire in our body. So does our metabolism. So 4 o'clock, I like to say that's the deadline. I suggest people, and you might want to make this on your notes, do any of your complex carbs for the day. And those are things like your legumes, your grains. If you're doing a pasta, you're reaching for lentil pasta, nothing like white, refined, crazy sugar spike pasta. You're going to do that in the daytime. I suggest before 2 p.m. If you're not breaking a fast until noon, you're going to make sure it's before 4 p.m. Okay. I promise you, if you bulk your fuel and food anytime before 4 p.m., you will not be starving in the evening. You will not be snacking in the night because we don't need the nutrients at night. We don't need the fuel. I promise it's great. Take a picture, create a diamond in your day, not a triangle. And nutrient timing really does matter. I think there's a lot of philosophies around it, but what I want to suggest to you in the evenings, because life is for real and I am for real. And yeah, do I ever snack in the night? Yeah. Do I have children? Yes. What do they want? Ice cream? Okay. So if you are like, well, I really can't avoid some of my nighttime snacking, then know that nutrient timing matters. If your carbs are loaded up in the day, you're omitting your carbs after that 2 or 4 o'clock window based on whatever time frame you're eating. And you're going to reach for protein only in the night. I even suggest people to drink a protein, like just a protein, whey protein or plant protein, to satisfy any hunger. And it's liquid, it's not stirring you up. It will aid in a deep sleep and it actually helps burn fat. So if you're going to be doing anything, I'm going to let you reach for protein, right? And if you're not into drinking your protein, I surely am, you could reach for something like a hard-boiled egg. You know, eggs are another more bioavailable nutrient. If you're really stuck on that intermittent fasting and you really want to go for daily intermittent fasting, you're not going to eat an egg. You're going to reach for something liquid. It might be a bone broth. A collagen-rich bone broth has protein as well. So you could choose how you want to get that in your body. Third tip, and this it, you know, I don't want to keep everyone too long. Third tip, stop the deprivation. Okay. It's not real. It's not sustainable. I know keto is exciting. People love keto. They love that they drop fat fast.
The nutritionist.
Yeah.
Oop, hi, someone's unmuted. Okay. So
Sorry.
Go ahead. And if you're going to do something crazy like keto, make it a jump start, 2 weeks only. That is my professional opinion. If you go keto too long, you're going to mess up your metabolism. You're going to mess up the hormones that support your metabolism. Whenever you go off keto, because it's not sustainable, you're going to have havoc in your body, inflammation. You're going to have possible autoimmune, it can get even to the point where you have, when your cortisol is so far off, you could even get chronic fatigue for real, because what you're doing during keto is stressing your body. So you're constantly under stress. So I guess say, let's live with ease and don't deprive. Because once you deprive some things that are in our diet for a reason, they're nutrition we consume them for fuel for a reason, you're going to binge. Willpower, my dear, is a muscle. And it only lasts so long. It's not a high endurance muscle, not like your plank. You can hold your plank for 2 minutes, 3 minutes. I don't know. Have you been practicing your planks? But your willpower, you get more willpower the more community and people you invite into your journey. Accountability can help strengthen willpower, but the muscle itself of willpower is short-lived. You can go 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. You might even make it a month, and then it busts, and then you're binging. It's not a real way of life. There is no such thing as standing still. Sometimes people are like, well, yeah, I'll start Monday. I'm just going to stay where I am right now. I feel okay. I think in my head, I'm talking myself out of being healthy or caring, even though it is somewhere deep inside my soul. I want to feel better. I'm just going to wait till Monday. Well, I'm going to bust your bubble. You're not standing still. There's no holding still in life. Your heart's still beating. You're still breathing. You're still gaining weight or losing weight. It's one or the other. There's no standstill. There is maintenance when you have hit a certain well-oiled machine and your body's processes are very well tuned. You will stay within a good 3 to 5 pound window for life if you can really hone in, right? But I want you to enter, this is my last tip, the 3-lane highway. Okay. Join me on this metaphor real quick. I don't know. Will you talk to me in the chats? Will you comment for me? Are you an all or nothing? Are you on and off the wagon? Oh my goodness, I just messed up. I guess I'll start next Monday. What's Monday anyway? like today, right now is the only time we have. Maybe Monday doesn't even happen. You know, God bless. I hope all Mondays happen. But what are we waiting for? So if you join me on the 3-lane highway, I promise you, you're always moving in the right direction. You're either going to be in the fast lane. That's that fast lane. Get in the left lane. If you need to pass everybody and you really got to get somewhere, get in the fast lane. Use these tips and tricks, not just one of them. Use them all. Start really shifting your mindset for the fast lane if that's where you want to be. Well, then sometimes there's the middle lane. You get over, you're kind of in between the fast and the slow lane, and you're like, yeah, I can ride with it. That's usually what I would call maintenance. That's where you're like, yeah, I'm 80-20. 80% of the time I'm doing great. 20% of the time I'm maybe not as smart, or I choose to be a little more adventurous or risky. And then there's the slow lane. That's the far right lane. Now, if you're choosing to be in the slow lane, I don't want to hear any complaints, because you know what you're consuming. You know if you're moving your body. You know if you're drinking the extra glass of wine and you won't stop at one, you got to go for the bottle. You know what your habits are if you're hanging out in that slow lane. All I'm requesting of you is to shift gears, chunk, 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 and never take the exit. Don't get in the exit only lane and dismiss it all. That's that all or nothing mentality, and it's not going to get you anywhere. It's the yo-yo, it's the broken, it's the I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, I fail. Don't talk yourself in that direction. It's not going to get you anywhere. I want you to stay at the wheel, and you can change lanes, and it's okay. But I promise you, the only way to go is forward. You can't get your body back. You can't get your anything back. It's gone. It's behind you. It's all forward from here. Okay. So that's my encouragement. I tell everybody, green is lean, go to bed hungry. Of course, I don't mean like starving. And then stay on the 3-lane highway. Don't exit. Those are my 3 tips. I hope that that was awesome for you. And there's much more you can get from us. We are an awesome community here. But I just have a quick question. How fast are you looking to go? Do you want to stay in that middle lane? Do you want to keep going between the slow lane and the middle lane constantly? And then, you know, another event happens, a life monumental event happens, and you're like, man, I really wish I'd have been in the fast lane last month. I know I deserve more. I know I can feel better. So how fast do you want to go? Because there's a double-edged sword. I'm telling you, it cuts us in half, and it is stopping us from getting to our optimal, ultimate health. It's crazy because you can have one side of the sword that might be cutting, but even when you think you conquer that side, the other side is still there. That's a double-edged sword, guys. It can go sink, 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 slice you like a ninja. So what is it? What are the two sides of this sword that are seriously creating our state of mood? Why are we fat? Why are we sick? Or why are we tired? If any of those three things are wearing away at you, excess body weight, compromised immune system, just constantly tired and not getting a break. What are these two reasons? This double-edged sword I'm going to reveal to you is malnutrition and toxicity. So we already talked about how important nutrition is, right? That's what we just covered, especially with your food choices. Our food, though, no matter how smart you get, is malnourished. So you can eat as many colors under the moon as you possibly can, but because of the Frankenstein food in the market, and I do suggest organic, but even our organic regulation in the USA is not regulated. You can pay the government, get your organic seal, and they leave you alone. So it's not super organic, still better. But our food is nutrient depleted. So we do need, I hate to say it, because as a trainer for so long, I would be like, you don't need it. You don't need it. We do need supplementation. It's just a known fact. If you're not supplementing and getting nourished in a deeper cellular way, you are still missing out and you might still end up fat, sick, or tired. And the other one, toxicity. I mean, we just talked about how Frankenstein food is toxic. And so is the couch you're sitting on right now, or the bed you sleep on every night. So is your water sources. So is the air you're breathing. Sadly, anything you put on your body is showing up in your liver within 7 minutes. Are you reading your labels? Are there weird things like phosphates and sulfites and fragrance? Don't ever use something that says fragrance. It's an umbrella for toxicity. So anything that you're consuming, breathing, rubbing on your skin, and living on is also toxic. And it's part of why we can't get a break in this journey of life wellness. So I want to invite you, if you got here tonight, is because someone cared enough to say, wow, I feel so good. I love this stuff. I can't believe I didn't feel this good. So they want to share it with you. I want to share it with you. There is an amazing opportunity to join us where you can look better, feel better, and really awesome, eat better. And we're even going to do it before Thanksgiving. Now, why on earth would we do this before Thanksgiving? Wouldn't you wait till New Year? Isn't that what we do? We just push Monday to Monday to Monday to Monday to New Year. What did you want last New Year? Did you get it? What was your big lofty goal? Did you get there? Quit waiting, guys. We're doing this before the holiday because we are action takers and we are ready for change. So this holiday prep is an 11-day detox, and it's the double-edged sword of the toxicity and the malnutrition. We're going to get rid of that sword that's cutting you in half. We are going to nourish your body so much. Yes, with meal replacement shakes. Don't get scared. They're delicious and nutritious and they're awesome. This is where you're going to enter the holidays. The temptations will be around you. Hey, another glass of wine, second piece of pie. Hey, have a second plate. All that's still going to be around you. But when you nourish your body at a cellular level and you detox your body at a cellular level, this is not a poo-poo cleanse. Just got to put that there. Cellular cleanse. The cravings will vanish. So the temptation is here and here and here and here, but the cravings are gone. We're going to empower you to go into Thanksgiving and into the holiday season completely already your better self. Why wait till New Year? Okay, so we're starting November 13th as a prep, and then we're going to go through. We'll be done before Thanksgiving. Now, we just finished one of these, we call it a 9-day, 11-day means we prep for 2 days. We just finished. I just take time and read some of these texts, guys. Our group and community is blowing up with excitement. And what I want to tell you is we are such a tight-knit community, and no matter what you're doing in life, whether it be your nutrition, whether it be your workout. I mean, I'm a personal trainer. People hire me to show up. They hire me for accountability. Yes, I guide them and I teach them things they never knew, and I get them stronger or more flexible. But the biggest thing of why I'm in their life and why they're not going anywhere is because they know I keep them accountable. Now, you are 67% more likely to achieve any goal in life, whether it be your nutrition, whether it be your finances or your business, whatever you're doing, if you have accountability partners. So this community right here is where it's at. And I know the biggest question for everyone is, well, how much is it? That's a huge question, right? What is it? But I want you to just throw that out the door, because health should not be an expense. You're already buying groceries. You're already eating out. Don't even tell me you're not. You're already grabbing and going. You're probably throwing a lot of money out the door for a lot of things that are slowly, I can't say the word, killing you. I mean, if you're not thriving and living and you're not producing wellness, you're producing illness, right? So every choice is either something forward or backwards. So it's an investment. So I don't want you to think expense. How much is it? It's such a quick grasp for people. Well, it's free. If you really want it to be free, I can show you how. And so can anyone who invited you here. And that's with accountability partners. But instead of saying, it's expensive, I want you to say out loud and say it if that's going through your mind, my health is not worth the investment. See how that sounds? Nah, my health's not worth the investment. If you have people you love living in your home, my health for my children or my husband or my students, if I'm a teacher, my job, if I'm in a career, my health's not worth the investment. See how that feels? Because I'm not even going to tell you the price until you change the thought process. So I've already asked so many people when I get them going, what do you spend in a day? What are you buying for lunch? How many coffees do you buy in a day? Is it a foo-foo coffee? Well, get rid of those anyway. They're a calorie bomb. People easily are spending anywhere, what I have noticed mostly, $10 to $25 a day. They don't even know it. That's not even part of their grocery budget. That's just grab and goes, quick drive-through lines, going out with a friend for lunch. Oh, it's just 15 bucks here and there. They don't even calculate that into their expenses. So I want to introduce you to our basic system. It's $9 a day. It covers 56 meals. That's 2 meals every day done for you. And if that sounds bananas, because to some people, they're like, I cannot drink my meal. I'm going to challenge you to put it in your body, give it at least 3 weeks. You get a 30-day money back guarantee. If you, after 3 weeks, realize you don't feel so nourished with the most perfect macro balanced meal, convenient meal ever, the best fast food in the planet. If you don't feel nourished and satisfied, then whoever got you started is going to help you get your money back, I promise. So not only does this $9 a day cover all those meals, because that's awesome already, it covers the entire 11-day holiday prep detox that we're starting in November. And that gives you all the support you need, but not all the support, because our community, our mission, the empowerment you get, the ease of the system, the convenience, this full wellness experience, that's what you get. You cannot put a price tag on it. We believe that every body, every human deserves the right to feel good, look good, break free, have freedom at an affordable price. $9 a day is super affordable. 2 meals and an 11-day detox experience. I am from New York City, where a 5-day juice experience costs $300 if you do Blueprint or Juice Fast or any of those little foo-foo, I blend up your veggies for you fasts. Not always nourishing either. So what you also get, and this I'm going to invite you into, whether you decide to do the detox with us or not, I invite you here, because our community, the Ultimate Health Quest community, is like no other. We're here to support you on whatever decision you make. And even if tonight you're like, I just need more info, please talk to the person who brought you here. In this community, even if you haven't started yet, you'll get recipes, you'll get the motivation, the inspiration, guidance, workouts, all the things that can help you on a life wellness plan. Right? You get access to me and a lot of amazing health coaches. I promise you, I'm not alone. A lot of our partners are already certified health coaches prior to entering our community and entering our nutrition. And so I just want to thank you. Hopefully, it didn't take up too much time. Man, I'm a chatterbox, 45 minutes of your day. But I hope that it was a blessing in your life. I hope that if nothing else, you've had a couple switches in your mindset and a couple tools and tricks in your tool belt that can just help you in your life wellness plan, because that's what's most important. If you're not living and thriving in your best self, then how can you show up for those you love? You know, it 100% or 200%. So thank you for joining me. I hope this was awesome. And I hope to see you in the Ultimate Health Quest. And by all means, I hope that you're detoxing with us for the holiday prep 11-day detox. You guys rock. Thank you for being here and all the time you've been here with me. Have an awesome, awesome day.